Hi everyone, this is AlphaAli. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing okay. So today I'm doing a VOD review. This is for Kazu and it is a PC silver game. They basically put this game was a doozy. The enemy had a cast which was insane and almost punished. That's almost punished me for my horrid positioning and my movements. And I think that's the reason why we lost. I'd like to know when and when not to heal the tank and also when to Valk, as I feel like that either Valk too early, too late, or it's not needed. I would also like to know how I could position or move better against an insane DPS player like the enemy cast. Alright, Kazu. So, things I'm actually gonna, kind of talk to you more about is I think I'm definitely gonna talk to you about positioning because I feel like everything that you do as Mercy relates back to how you position. So I'm gonna first of all, I feel like I'm gonna mainly focus on your positioning. I will of course talk about healing the tank after all. I know I haven't done many VODs of season 9 due to illness and everything. So I will talk more about when, you can go and heal your tank because it will depend on who you've got and everything. I won't really talk too much about the Valks. Okay. I will reconnect the controller. I won't talk too much about the Valks unless there's like a really, really big issue with it because I don't want to kind of like bombard you with information, I guess. So we'll focus on them too first. Before I do start the VOD, you guys can get your own VOD views. They for 7,500 channel points. I do them on my Twitch on Sundays, but also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays too. The VODs are completely for free. All you have to do essentially is just turn up to the streams, earn the channel points, and once you hit the 7.5k, just redeem the VODs like Kazu has done here. So yes, I guess we'll get into the VOD. We are using, of course, Skinny Sigrun. You guys know my opinions on Sigrid's skin, so I'm not gonna, linger on that for too long. But we'll have a quick look at the team that we have. We have Orisa, Ashe, Cass, and obviously you are Mercy, and Anna. An amazing comp for Mercy because obviously Anna does a lot of healing output. Obviously you might need to go and peel for her. For example, I mean, you won't know yet, but they do have a Doom and a Genji, so it means you might need to go and peel back for her a little bit more. But Ashe and Cass are absolutely amazing damage boost targets, along with Orisa as well. Orisa is really, really great. So yeah, so I guess I'll just get straight into it. First of all, I love your positioning already to start off with. I always tell people stand here. You can actually stand a little bit further back than what you are. Like you can stand pretty much like here, just to make sure you're keeping that distance in case they have any divers that will come up to you. Because it's either they're going to come up onto this high ground and start shooting, or again just going to come up and dive. So if you can create that distance as much as possible, then it's all good. But overall, love how your position so far. Really, really great. But nice so far. Obviously, damage boosted in our best blue beam target, which is Ashe. The reason why I want to damage boost Ashe here instead of like everyone else is because Ashe has that long range. Cass is more a kind of short to mid-range hero, whereas Ashe is more of a mid to long range. So it's really, really good to, to damage boost the Ashe from the beginning. Really, really great so far. Love how you haven't touched the Orisa and just allowing your Honor to heal. Really, really great. This is fine because obviously, you have to sling yourself around. Nice peel back. Fortunately, couldn't get the Ashe. Go on. Beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, maybe no damage boost to him because of his skin. The skin is also really, really great. The Cowboy Bebop. Okay. I love this res. This is absolutely amazing because you know that the Doom has used his like kind of slammy down ability and his punch in order to get the Ashe. So you know them cooldown. You know their res are on cooldown. Best way is just to go above him. Really, really nice. I'm going to see how you get out of this, though. I mean, you do have your team to protect you now. I'm going to look to see what you do. So what you can do at the end of that res, I would rather, instead of you kind of like just drop forward being like, ha, like, to him, because, I've got this res off. Instead, if you can, just kind of like bring yourself back and crouch away from it. Just for a brief second while they respawn. The reasoning is because you kind of like just, you won't have your GA left, basically. You won't have your GA because you've done the little like mini like super jump res basically. So you'll have to kind of like just crouch down and then you could just wait for everyone to, peek over. Obviously go over the wall, nice. You don't really need to sling yourself here. Like all you can do is just GA yourself in and then just play in this corner because then it'll block all the LOS from this window. Obviously they're going to end up coming in a second, so you will want to rotate maybe to the stairs or something. But this is fine for the moment. Oh, and then the cast ends up just getting you all from the flank. All good. I think it would have been better if we did position ourselves on the stairs maybe a little bit sooner because we know the enemy team's going to try and, take an advantage after, all the teams backed off for the Doom. So if you can, try just, go into there. Alright, so we have Sombra now, so it means we're obviously going to be hard Not hard pocketing, but we're going to be helping the thingy a little bit more. Obviously, just careful of the cast. That's just unfortunate. Don't worry too much about playing up here at the moment. I would rather you played on the floor and jiggle peaks like this to the Orisa. Obviously, the Orisa's now, you know, absolutely launched herself forward for some reason. But don't worry too much about being on top of this high ground for now, because you can utilize that a little bit later on when these guys, you know, the payload gets to, like, a little bit closer, or your team ends up obviously extending forward, then you can utilize that high ground. But for now, I'd rather you kind of like just play down here a little bit, jiggle peak to help this Orisa, because this is a point where you want to heal your tank. Obviously, you've helped peel for your Honor, which is great. Sombra's died. You're not going to be able to get this res off on the Sombra because obviously the Doom's going to end up coming for you, and also your Orisa's really, really weak. Now, your Orisa should kind of play around here-ish. She's ended up pushing forward. I'll see what happens after this. So we go to res. I was gonna say don't go for the res. The reason why I'm saying don't go for the res, A, Sombra gets a really, really quick respawn, and B, we know, like how the Doom has just done, has just come in and punched us. Now, we don't want the Doom to go and punch us either into the water, or like, sorry everyone about my controller. We don't want the Doom to essentially, okay, we don't want the Doom to punch us into the water, or punch us maybe into like this lamppost or something like that. So if we can, wait for that res, or just do not res at all. Remember, Sombra is probably one of the quickest characters in the game. She'll come back really, really quickly, so there's absolutely no need, basically. But we'll keep going. Nice damage boost here, though. Nice, just helps out top up your Honor. Nice. And I guess we'll go for the reset, which is good. So obviously, we're just kind of playing around here. I like where your position right now. This is absolutely fine for letting your Honor heal. My thing now, you're in the wrong spot here now, because I loved when you played around this pillar, okay? On Rialto, there was, especially on this point, there is such little cover, so you have to be extremely strict with where you're positioned. So you want to play here, or you want to play behind the statue, or you want to play behind one of these pillars, basically. And you want to use your GAs to go from pillar to pillar, rotate back out, basically. It's very, very rare that you want to be kind of out in this open like this. I love how you found this like little doorway as well. The eyes as well. So if you can, use these like pillars a little bit more, and then make sure you're using your GAs with a purpose. Use your GA to purposely move to this piece of cover, alright? I'm gonna see you end up doing in a second now, though. So we rotate up. At this point, we just have to be really listening out to making sure that, you know, nobody's going to come up from the high ground to come and get you guys. You can hear them in this doorway now, so we want to try and GA ourselves away. I wouldn't GA up. The reason why we're not going to GA up is because we don't know if there's going to be anyone, like, for example, the cast on this high ground. A lot of hit scans, your Widows, your Soldiers, your Cass, your Ashe, they will all come up to here to get a really good advantage on this team fight, okay? So instead of you flicking yourself up here, I would rather you use this GA to back off. The reason why I'd also, the reason why I also tell you to back off is because what's going to happen is these guys are now going to take this space, because obviously your Cass has, like, started to give it up, and your Orisa's, like, not really kind of pressuring the space. So you going up here is actually putting yourself in front of the tank and actually, you know, giving yourself away, being like, hey, look at me, woo, kind of thing. The Cass give you a heart attack. No, it's alright, sweet, but it's just realizing where people can attack from on this map, and a lot of hit scans attack from here. A few of them do come from down here, which is why I was like, be careful of this doorway. Like, if you want to play underneath this high ground, or like play around here, you have to pretty much play here, because you can hear them coming through the door and everything, in which case it gives you time to back off. But I would rather you backed off and then crouch behind the cast or something here for a second. Like, come behind here, and then if you need to rotate back, you have it on, that you can, like, do a quick, like, rotation to, like, this, for example. We just don't want to be kind of flinging ourselves up there when our team is wanting to back out so we can take a team fight. Obviously, you end up... Nice damage boost onto the ult, by the way. Okay, let's quickly rewind it a bit, because I want to see what happens now. And I feel like we kind of lost the flow a bit because we paused. So, talked about this. We talked about this. Nice that you dropped, obviously blocked the LOS. Nice fling to the health pack. Okay, as we're doing this, we are so tunnel visioned onto our cast, okay? We can hear the Orisa roll. What? As soon as I hear an Orisa roll, I'm there. I'm looking. I am like, what is going on? And as you can see, you know, that the Orisa's ulting nothingness. But it's fine. So just make sure that we're still like keeping an eye on like what our team are going to be doing while this is happening. What I'd recommend at this point, just stay with your cast. All you have to do here is just do a little GA cancel to play like behind this pillar, for example, here, and just play with your cast. Because the Sombra is invisible, she's not going to go and challenge the cast just yet, because obviously, you know, the Kiriko's with him, so the Kira's just going to like Zuzu it. So yeah, Orisa had an optimistic goal. Yeah, she did. But yeah, if you can, just honestly, just stay down with your cast right now. And unless if your Sombra uncloaks herself and is wanted to contest, then you can obviously go up with the, you know, to go and like help with it. But right now, we can just chill with our cast on the low ground. Now, obviously, we can. Nice GA away. Instead of GAing yourself in, though, to escape, because obviously you notice the, what's it called? Obviously, you know, the Genji's on you, the cast end up getting to the Sombra and everything like that. Instead of GAing yourself in to sling yourself as like a mini sling to here, just do a quick drop down and GA. Because the drop down will get you out of that LOS from the Genji, who's obviously like quickly gone away because, you know, the cast end up scaring him off. Or if you just drop away like this, A, you'll have beam with your cast still, and also B, you'll be out of LOS, and then you can G yourself back to your cast if you want to. In a second. Like that. Perfect. We just needed to not sling ourselves in like that. Other than that, though, really, really great so far, though, Kazu. Nice. Once again, try not to... I know you love your high grounds, and I've noticed in a lot of your VODs previously, you've utilized the high grounds really, really well, which is really, really great. Like, honestly, you should, if you can, utilize them high grounds as Mercy as your extra positioning. However, if you know the enemies are going to be up on that high ground, don't stand up on this high ground. Instead, you have to play your cover down here. Play around here. Back off and go and crouch and play around here, basically. You don't want to be going up to a high ground where you know the enemy DPS could possibly be, basically. So we're going to rotate ourselves back now, which is good. Nice low facing away and crouching in order to protect your head hitbox. Really, really great. I think I use the high ground to the point where I don't consider enemies, which is... You should consider the enemies before you consider the high ground. If you can, try to think to yourself, okay, is there going to be an enemy on this high ground? Or, like, what's the likelihood is probably a better, like, way of saying it, of an enemy being on that high ground. Because, for example, you could chill up, like, obviously not in this scenario, but in, like, another scenario. You could chill up on this high ground. However, you still have this risk of people coming behind you, but you have time to rotate when you hear them coming up the stairs. Whereas on this one, they can just appear and then just shoot you down from where you are, kind of thing, or we'll just rotate the corner and then just hinder you and everything like that. So kind of really think to yourself, where is the best place I can position here to be out of the enemies? And a lot of the time that will be the high ground. However, on maps like this, for example, it's not going to be. It's going to be crouching behind here, like how you're doing right now. I want you to do this on this map more often. GA yourself from these little pieces of cover. All right, but we'll keep going. Nice, obviously we nanoed Orisa. Nice going in with her. That's completely fine for you to go up here now because you've seen the cast's main. You know the Genji is down below. This is a excuse me, sorry. This is a perfect time to use this high ground. Very, very nice. Love as well how you push up with your Orisa here. I don't see enough Mercies do this. I'll just see them just constantly main blooming, you know, just beaming their main blooming targets. I love that you see the Orisa's going in aggressively and you're going in to help her with the nano and going in and damage boosting. Really, really great here. I'd still be healing her here. Okay. She went around a corner, so you can't really do too much about that, to be honest. I don't think this would have saved you here, but this is just a thing to consider for the future because playing on console and playing on Rialto, you see pretty much a Widowmaker every single game. Whenever I see Nano, it's damage boost on site. Notice it's really, really great because obviously the Nano boost and the damage boost do stack. Some people don't know that. It is true. Damage boost and Nano boost will stack. So it gives a 6... How much is it now? How much does Mercy damage boost do now? It's like... I can't remember. That's actually so bad that I cannot remember how much... Is it... It used to be 30 or like, is it 25 now? 25? I think it's 25. So it's a 75%. Oh, is it 50? I can't remember. I'm such a bad Mercy main here. Like, not even knowing how much it damage boosts for anymore. I know it's 15 seems a bit low. I'll look after the stream, or I'll probably put it on screen or something. I'll pop it on screen what it actually is, because I cannot remember. But I can't remember if I was going with this. Oh, so yeah, they stack. That's it. That was the point I was making. But anyways, so Orisa cuts LOS of you and cuts LOS of the honor as well, so you can't really do anything about that. Okay. So with this, I don't know whether this would have helped you out in this scenario, but this is more so a thing for in the future. Don't do a long GA from here to here because of this massive openness, okay? If you can, make this actually 2 movements. Let me quickly rewind it and I'll show you what I mean. So obviously, this was fine. Going through with the damage boost here. This was all fine, and then the Orisa just decides to cut LOS and it takes a considerable amount of damage. So even if you were healing there, it wouldn't do anything. So, make that a GA cancel. So you GA cancel. It allows you to get that quick cooldown, and all you have to do is kind of like just vibe about here for a second. You still have Honors LOS, then you could do a second GA, either go up to her or bring it round to down here, however you want to. It essentially means you're not doing this full straight line slingshot that you just have done, because when you go as Mercy, going in a straight line, it is so easy to track Mercy, right? So if you can, try just to kind of make it so you're using your cover. Make sure you're not GAing out in the open for like too long in that exact same straight line. So GA from here, cancel it, take a second, GA again. I've never considered doing 2 GAs. It throws people off, genuinely, because people expect you to just be like really like far, like backing out right now and doing this big long straight line. So if you mix it up a bit by doing a slight little cancel, give yourself like, you know, a couple seconds for it, well, it's like 1.5 seconds for it to come back on. You can maybe do a bit of crouch spamming here as well if they start to follow up on you, but looking where they are, you'll be alright for a second or two. Then do another GA, either to your honor or like sling it down here or something, however you want to position yourself. I don't think it would have saved you in that scenario with how much they are pushing up onto you guys. But it can help you out in the future with like open maps like Havana, for example. It's why on Havana you see a lot of like Mercies G8 to maybe like a car or something, just so they're not doing like a big long sling against, you know, around 2 different areas of cover. Nice rotation. Oh, where was the cast? Ah, the cast was down here, okay. I like this rotation. This was really, really great, Kazu. Because obviously you notice where the enemies are going to be. So we're coming back out. Instead of going down here, we could have maybe gone up to the high ground already, but this is more like a personal preference for me going up onto this high ground. Obviously, we're looking away. This is fine. We go to peel for Cass. Nice. Make sure that we're crouching down here and we're not jumping up like we are doing. The reasoning is because Cass is going to really struggle to see you from here if you are crouched down. Now, obviously, they're all going to, like, start like coming in and focusing, or the cast will start drawing attention to someone else. If the Orisa starts pushing forward, which she should do, like kind of push forward here, that gives you chance then to like go out and escape kind of thing. But if you can, know that they're going to be down below there, so just do a quick little crouch, maybe head out this way or something like that, basically, just to reduce that hitbox. That's fine, you end up getting picked off by him. I have seen this cast is really, really good. Jump was a panic? No, it's alright, sweet. Don't worry. It's just something to bear in mind for the future. But we'll keep going. Good thing you're staying with your honor and damage boosting her. Once again, I don't see enough people doing this. I don't see enough people sitting and like damage boosting the supports when they don't have anyone else. That's really, really great. Okay. Lovely. Now, this is an absolute fine high ground to use because you know you have your Sombra right now to protect you from well, you don't know, well, you might know the Cass is here from like sounding it. Obviously Cass is like to take this high ground. You have the Sombra here to help protect you from it. This is a fine high ground for you to use. I'm gonna see what I end up doing though. Don't, okay. She pinged him? Yeah, okay. That's fine. Yeah, so she pings it now. Nice, okay. Just a quick thing. Don't just don't stand there and look him in the face. What you can actually do is kind of bait him. I was the bait. Yeah, so but you've made the bait a little bit too like if I repeat it, you'll see what I mean. Hold on. Like it is a good bait. Right. I would rather you stayed down here and you kind of played a little bit out in the open-ish, a little bit, like, and you can still help and damage boost your team right now, instead of, because what you're doing is you kind of like just walk into him and you're like, hello, like, you kind of like hand deliver yourself to him, you're like, I'm here, like, you know, make it a little bit less obvious that the Sombra's up here with you, by simply just kind of turning around, damage boosting, and then as soon as you hear the Sombra start to hack him and get him, that's when you do your quick wha-bam, and then you go and like, what's it called? You then go focus him down, okay? It makes it a little bit less obvious that you're like being a bait right now, and also it means that you can still be a little bit effective with the damage boost, and you're not just gonna be stood there like, hi! I love how, like, you know, you're helping your Sombra with this though. Love how you don't drop as well. Beautiful. Nice. Nice damage boost. Love the escape. We can go with res. Okay. I love this Valk already. So I love this Valk. I like how obviously, you know, you've got out and everything like that. Really, really great. Loved as well how you position with your Valk. This is completely fine Valk. Except for this bit. Okay, let's quickly rewind it. So this is fine. Love this. Loved your position on the high ground. So I see so many people like dropping when you don't need to. Really, really great. So obviously we pop Valk. Nice. As soon as that ult has finished, I would be going for this res. The reason is because the Genji is hacked on like 1 HP, so the Orisa can very much easily finish him, or like the Ana and like the Cass will really like easily finish him. And also he's not gonna have enough HP, you know, like you're full HP, so it's gonna like struggle to slash you basically while you're doing this res. So as soon as you are done with this, bam, go for that res. Go and res here, because then if you're resing here, this is your res. Oh, there's a castle. Luckily it's behind me. And then you could just like vibe up here and just help your res around this way. Now, I feel like you wanted to do that, but it was a little bit too slow in your thinking. The reasoning for this is because you end up kind of just rotating through this Orisa ult, which is the reason why you end up getting caught out by the high noon. Is because your GAs are getting slowed down by the Orisa ult, basically. Yeah, so I would rather you went for this res like really, really quickly. And if not, know where the high noon is. You know he's not on that high ground because you can see the Sombra's orb. But so you know he's going to be main. So if you can, honestly, you can just kind of hold it for a second. Be like, okay, wait. And you can kind of like just wait it out. Obviously, yes, you'll be in the Orisa. Maybe you can J yourself back out and away with your Ana. Remember, it's not desperate to go and, you know, res your Sombra, because obviously she's just used EMP as well. So we're not desperate to res the Sombra, but it's kind of like a nice thing if we can. So just kind of like, just be a little bit mindful about what's happening in your team there, and don't just be kind of like flying out into the high noon. But with that though, it was a really good Valk though, Kazu. I loved your, apart from obviously the last bit, I loved your positioning with it, and I love when you popped it. I feel like it was a really useful Valk. It's just unfortunate that I feel like your team ended up kind of unfortunately falling now. So you don't have a tank, you want to back out quick because they're going to start rushing. Don't stand out in the open like this. Either play in this room or play around here. I'd be looking just to head quickly to kind of the spawn side here. Just so you're not, you know, stood out in the open, basically. Nice rotation. Don't worry too much about Ana. Ana is, yes, she's critical, don't get me wrong. But is anyone chasing your Ana right now? No. Because the Orisa is obviously staying here because she's being focused down by the soldier and the Cass. Obviously the Moira's not fading in to go and help, and everyone else is still on the payload, right? Ana can just self-regen now. She can just, she's absolutely fine. She can self-regen. So I would rather, obviously, yes, we've rotated here, but stay with the Cass. Keep applying pressure. The Cass might do enough damage in order to eliminate the Orisa, in which case that hugely helps your team out. So if you can, try just kind of leave your Ana at that point. She's really, really safe, and just damage with someone else. Maybe it's the skin, making me think I'm the skinniest Sigrid ever. Possibly. Nice res in the cover. Obviously, we have to do it quick. Just be careful for people walking onto you. Nice. Nice, we know where Cass is now, so we're just going to play around him. Really, really nice. Nice. Love your position now. Really, really great. Obviously, your soldier's in a bad spot. You don't have res for either. Heal your Orisa. Okay, that's fine. The reason why, even if you do get your beam on here, which I would like you to get your beam on a little bit sooner, she would have just got melted down by the high charge sim anyway, so it's absolutely fine. We'll keep going. Nice position in here. Nice. Ooh, okay. I feel like this is completely fine. My only thing is I needed you to rotate back a little bit sooner. So this is absolutely fine for the time being, right? But as soon as we know that Arisa's going to start coming up in a second, which she will, we need to make that rotation. Because she's just, like how she just does. Watch her in a second now. Even now, we could, like, rotate a little bit sooner. Maybe to go back to our soldier or something. It means that we're not making ourselves a target. Her javelin felt personal. Yeah, because, she can see your beam, so she knows exactly where you are, so she could just, wha-bam, like, come around the corner and just absolutely annihilate you. Sorry, my controller's just stopped working again for whatever reason. Oh, no, it's because it was paused. I'm like, why is my controller not working? Because it's paused. Anyways, so yeah, just if you can, try to rotate a little bit sooner because you know that she's going to have that javelin and she can see our beam, so she's just going to go straight forwards. What we can do here is, even if you want to stay on this side, we could definitely use our, for example, we can kind of, back off a bit, use our beams, then do, a quick, slingshot ourselves, back around here, basically, or something. But we don't want to be hanging around here for too long because you know the team's going to push in. Now, this GA is fine, but you're kind of getting a little bit stuck with the pillar. Make this just a little GA bunny hop. So you're GAing, what, you're GAing to your Cass, aren't you? Or who, I don't know who you GA to. But you're GAing, right? So that'll be in a straight line. Do a little bunny hop at the end of this GA in order to get behind the pillar. Because what ends up happening is you end up kind of just GAing into the pillar, right? If you can, try to make it a GA bunny hop around. Obviously, Arisa getting it with your rolls. We've managed to get out though, which is great. Nice, obviously trying to keep your honor up. Like how you've just left her to go and help the Arisa. Really good, obviously, target prioritization. And that's just unfortunate that everyone ends up falling. Overall, Kazu, though, is honestly really, really great so far. Let me grab my wire back as well while I say this. Really, really great so far, honestly. And your positioning isn't too bad either, can I just say. It's minor. It's minor things. You know, if, you don't have a high ground. I feel like whenever you don't have a high ground, you panic. Which is, kind of, what's called? Sorry, I'm trying to get this wire, and I have no clue where it is. It's there. I feel like if you do not have a high ground, you panic. I feel like you always default yourself to the high ground, which is great. Do not get me wrong. Being on high grounds is great as Mercy. Especially if, the enemy team have people that, can't reach you. However, I feel like now we need to try and, change our positioning for if there's not going to be high grounds. Because of my besties, I cannot live without them. It's going to be such a the last VOD I did, I swear, was Drax's. And it was a gold one, I think. And it was talking about actually using the high ground more as Mercy. I feel like this is the complete flip side, where I'm telling you, not to use the high ground so much kind of thing. It's really weird that it's worked out that way. Anyways, so we switched skins to Imp. I like it. Thank you. Keep the skin on. Compared to Sigrun. But I guess we'll head out. But yeah, main things is just try to alter your positioning so you're not so reliant on the high grounds. Nice position so far, though. This is really, really great. As we're doing this, I'd be keeping an eye on my Winston. The reason is because they have this Sim who could very easily like slow down the Winston with the turrets and also like kind of melt him down a little bit. So I'd just be kind of looking just to check that the Winston's okay, and obviously just kind of flicking about just to make sure your Widow's okay as well. Just doing like little quick flicks like this basically, just to check everyone's okay. Nice. Nice, obviously to go help Winston. You leave me to Arna now, which is completely fine. Nice damage boost on the Widow for the first shot. Just obviously listen out for people maybe coming up these stairs, but I'm not really, really great so far. See Sojourn's coming out. Really, really great position so far. Nice. Good beam management. My only thing is as you're healing up this Widow after, you know, obviously you've healed up the Sojourn, you can still heal her by and still rotate at the same time. So all you have to do is just kind of like leave your beam like lingering onto her as we get to the Sojourn. Then we can, you know, use our lovely high grounds that we absolutely love and damage boost the Sojourn here, because obviously all the DPS now have a regen passive basically. So you only need to kind of like top her up like a little bit to make sure that she's okay, and then, you know, like rotate back out, because she'll just regen naturally now. So you can actually get in and be a little bit more aggressive like that basically, but a little bit sooner. Really, really great though. Nice. I dropped down now so you're still in beam range. Nice. Nice position here. Push up now with your Sojourn. I do just a little like cancel GA here and just crouch behind the bridge, because then when your Sojourn slides in, you will then have a GA readily available so you can keep up with her and try and get these staggers. Because right now you just use a sling and now you kind of like stood there like, what do I do? Nice rotation up, because obviously you know Cass is going to be down there. Really, really nice. Really nicely played, Kazu. Just that, obviously that one thing with the cancel. Nice rotation. A little high to the Arna while she's on the car. Okay, this is a time where we can definitely heal our tank. The tank is now playing against a Reaper. Reaper is really good against Winston, because obviously you could just sit there and just chunk damage out of him. Look where your Arna is. We've just had a nice little hello to our Arna. We know where Arna is. So who's going to heal this Winston? Now, because we know the Cass is still respawning, because obviously, you know, you and Sojourn have just healed him, you are free as a bird to position yourself however you like right now, as long as it's obviously like not right or close. We're just gonna heal him. Sorry, that's really made me giggle. Yeah, but obviously you know now, Kazu, that Arna is not going to be here to heal. We need to get ourselves in there and just help heal him, because he will have quite a bit of health as he gets out of his primal form, but we want to try and keep him up throughout this primal form. Then he'll obviously like jump himself back, in which case we can then, you know, hand him off to Arna so Arna can get her nano kind of thing. But while Arna's not here and is not on the LOS of the Winston, we need to be going in here and healing to make sure that we can keep this Winston alive. We do end up going back for him, which is really, really great. And then obviously we leave him for Arna, which is absolutely the perfect thing to do. Just make sure that we're jumping in to go and help him a little bit sooner than what we have done. Other than that, really, really great. Nice. Love how you're beaming whoever is doing the damage right now. Honestly, because you have such good beam management. I absolutely love it. Honestly. So obviously Winston stove. Nice, you actually have got a pick. Lovely. A little bit messy, but I could see what you wanted to do, and I love it. Let's quickly rewind, because I want to talk about what happened. Okay, so we want to try and sling ourselves away from the Winston if we can, in this kind of scenario. So I would like you to sling yourself away a little bit, just to make sure that the Winston can't attack you. So we pop Valk because obviously we want to try and help these guys. Unfortunately, ends up dropping for everyone. Nice. Love how we back out. And then we notice we have a pick, okay? This means, well, that they have 2 picks, that we have 1. That means if we now go for a res, it's going to be even. And you want to go and res the tank, don't you? Because obviously they've just lost their tank. I would disagree. It's kind of... I'd res the Sojourn here rather than the Winston. There's 2 reasons, and there's also a reason why you want to res the Winston. And I'll kind of talk about kind of both reasons for a second. So, we're up 1. We're really, really safe right now. I'd res the Sojourn. The reasoning is because look how close she is to her ultimate, right? So Sojourn can then easily just come behind, just be like, whatever her ultimate's called. Like, and then we'll just absolutely, like, you know, annihilate these guys from the high ground. Remember as well, you know, the Winston's gone as well, so they've got an protective bubble in order to, like, protect them, basically. And then the second thing as well is, it's a little bit riskier to go for the Winston, which I feel like you kind of show off. I feel like the Sojourn's orb has disappeared, which I feel like comes to the scruffiness of how you performed it. Like, do not get me wrong, it's this like mini sling that you do. We could have made it really, really easily if we just kind of flew ourselves there, basically. So if you could do a quick little, like, what's it called? We could have got it off. But it's all good. We end up resing the Winston instead, which is once again completely fine. Nice using him to get away. Nice, our Sojourn's back, which is great. She's going to have a railgun ready in a second. We switched to Reaper instead of Widow as well, which means we've got one less person to worry about. Nice. Nice heals onto the Reaper. I would have got my beam onto the Honor there instead of the Sojourn, but it's fine. Nice res. Nice. Lovely escape. Absolutely spot on. I don't think there's anything you could have done there, Kazu, apart from obviously healing the Honor a little bit sooner. I don't think there's anything else you could have really done there. Really, really well played, because obviously, you know, you don't have your GA at that point, so obviously you go for the health pack, then the Wisdom primals you, but you have your GA ready at that point, and then you use it to sling yourself away to this little, like, piece of cover here, and then as soon as you're, like, able to, you sling yourself up onto the high grounds. Cannot fool you. Beautifully played, Kazu. This is how I want you to play all of the time. Using these position, you know, using these like pieces of cover like this. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. Really, really great. Obviously, back out now because you're, what's it called? Your team ended up backing out. Just obviously be careful of the high grounds. Yep. So if you want to cross a high ground, you have to kind of wait for the person to be dove. Or you can very much kind of distract them. So if you can, try to crouch yourself down like this. Because say, for instance, we're a little bit late, like we were, for example, with getting back. Kind of just crouch yourself down. What's going to happen is hopefully this Winston or like the Sojourn or something are going to start contesting him. He'll get weak. That is your time then to rotate. We can't just rotate willy-nilly like we have done here, where it's kind of like just whee, because he's going to track us down again. Because remember, that straight line movement, pew, 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 and you're gone, basically. So if you can, crouch yourself down onto the bridge. You can even like do like a little like peekaboo thing with like, hello, and then go back down basically. Just try and like, you know, bait him kind of thing. Because I didn't have Skinny Secret on Trust. But yeah. That's all good. So, you know when your Sojourn slides up like that in order to contest, that is when you want to be GAing there. Just as a little like example, by the way. Or when the cast backs off, like how the cast did, basically. But unless if you have like a diva DMing or like, you know, there's nobody up on that high ground that you know of, you're not going to be able to get out, basically. Nice. Obviously, call help Reaper. All good is what it is. But yes, let's see what we do now. So obviously waiting for everyone just to respawn, which is all good. There's nobody that's doing any damage right now, so there's no point trying to sit in damage boost. Alright, what's it called? I was checking my phone. Honestly, so relatable. I love it. Don't know what the Reaper's problem is. Because I've... Alright, so we have, what's called Zarya now. Nice. That's what I used to do earlier. That's why I wanted you to do it earlier. You wanted me to heal him. Dude, he can regen really, really quickly. He's fine. Besides, we don't know when our Sojourn's going to get off her phone. Nice. Lovely ping. Okay, nice. I love it. I was like, ping, there's a Reaper there. There's a Reaper there! Like, you can see, like, the shock in your face. Just if you can, obviously, the ping isn't desperately necessary. I'd rather you stayed alive rather than sacrifice your life to ping. So it was just a little, like, a panic. Really made me giggle. Okay, so Honor's gone. Nice res. Just make sure when we do a nice pretty res like this that we have our escape route. Remember, where is our Sojourn and our Winston? They're here. Because I don't really see the necessity in this res because, you know, we've lost 2 at this point. You know, we've lost our Honor and now obviously our Reaper's gone. I feel like this is more of just a quick little like mini back out basically. I like how you go for the res though. I like your positioning with the res. Just make sure when we're doing it, we fling ourselves around and we know where our escape route is, which is our, what's called our Sojourn. Because we kind of like just end up hanging about like, pretty res. Ah! Just everyone's just here basically. If it dies, it's my revenge of telling him to heal. I love it. He dies, but at the same time, like, you know, the team fight was unfortunately lost at that point. Nice. Don't play up on high here. Play down low because it's easier to pocket your Sojourn from down low at this point. Especially if they've got people up on the high ground, like the Cass, for example. We know Cass isn't peeking, so we can easily rotate. Honor's asking to push up top, which is the correct decision here, especially with your Zarya. Nice. We know. Okay, it's our Reaper. Dude, on the replays, I don't know why, but with Reapers, it always sounds like it's an enemy Reaper. That's why I started panicking. It's fine. It's your Reaper. But you know, do be listening out for them Reapers, though. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm not saving myself here. Okay, we're playing a bit far back now. I'd rather you just did like a little like GA cancel here, just so we can stay pushed up with the Sojourn here, because she's wanting to contest the Reaper right now. So if you can, try just to kind of, you know, keep up with your team still. You know, we can very easily kind of just sit with your Reaper and your Honor and everything right now, because then it means that we have choices. We can put our beam onto our Zarya if we want to, and we can also put our beam onto the Sojourn. We pop Valk. Nice, going back inside. I feel like the Valk is a little bit too soon. And the reason it is because your team haven't like fully engaged yet. What's happened is the Winston bubbles come down. And so obviously our Honor's having like to kind of step in and out of the bubbles, try and heal the Zarya. So that means that your Zarya's going to be backing out for a sec. Zarya's going to back out for a sec, wait for bubble to go, and then she's going to start pushing in again. That's when I want you to Valk, okay? I like the Valk though, like I respect it. Nice. Perfect time to heal tank. Nice. Love how you're using this pillar. The only thing is we could have definitely got a GA off here to kind of back out. I'll show you when we could have GA'd. So we're playing inside, which is completely fine. Obviously loving the damage boost. We step forward to go and heal our Zarya, which is completely fine. Oh, okay. I see what's happened. So we've ended up using our GA at the end of our Valk. I thought we hadn't used GA. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I feel like we should have used our GA on someone else here. Remember, we don't just need to GA to our beam target. We can actually GA to other people. So what we can do is, obviously, we know the Reaper's dropped down at this point. We can see him. Obviously, we know the Cass on us and the Winston's on us. So we can actually just take someone else here, GA to someone else. GA to our Reaper, our Sojourn, and kind of like just back out. You don't need to do the full, like, you know, rotation up onto the high ground. We can even just do a quick rotation up onto these boxes or something. We just want something where we can still keep in range of the Zarya, yet be kind of far back enough away from everyone else. This is really well though, kind of like, you know, playing away from him. Ends up primarily, make sure we put a beam onto our Honor a little bit quicker here. Nice peel for your Honor here. Nice damage boost. Obviously we start walking back to point at this point. Stay. Oh, okay. Don't worry too much about your Reaper here. Your Reaper will TP back if he needs help, or your Honor can heal in just a second. Reaper is so fine right now that we do not need to GA. We do not need to GA in right now. We can actually just stay crouched behind the payload. Right now, we want to try and help our team push the payload up as quick as possible to make these guys panic a bit more. Remember, they've just lost their tank, okay? And we want to try and cap this and, you know, take advantage of the Winston dying in order to try and get this payload capped, okay? All we have to do here is just vibe. Vibe on the payload. Crouch down. Here. That was a huge bubble from your Zarya. Nice rotation as well to get back, but we definitely did not need to risk that there. It was a really good Zarya bubble as well that saved you. I was just about to say, if you're safe, stay in that space, because you can, like, pocket from that high ground there. Fortunately, you couldn't go to help the Reaper too much because of how you were rotated, but honestly, it's fine. And then the cast just walks forward. To be honest, that isn't your fault, though, because obviously you don't expect the casters to walk forward like that, especially when your team is pushed forward like this. Completely not on you there, especially because he hinders you and just hits two really, really good shots onto you. Is what it is. I asked to marry the Zarya after that. I love it. Alright, I'm just going to push forward a little bit. Nice. So we know Reaper's behind. Okay. We know Reaper's behind. How are we going to get away from this? This would just be a GA sling. Get yourself as far away from this ult as possible, if you can. Or just GA back with your Sojourn or something like that, basically. We do not want to be anywhere near this, okay? So we've seen him. He's going to ult our supports. We just need to back off to someone. Doesn't matter who. We just need to back off to someone, basically, here. Rather than kind of, like, still GAing into our team when, what's it called? The ult has more reach than Moira's grass. No, it has quite a bit, like, a bit of a range. But try not to GA ourselves into the team when we know that he's going to ult, because he's going to want to ult into the team. You know? But we keep going. All good. Nice position here. Nice. Love your honor turn around for you as well. That's so sweet of her. Nice heals onto Sojourn. Nice. I feel like for all this we played a little bit too far back. I'll tell you when you should have GA'd. Now. You want to GA yourself forward now. Only to these boxes, not too far. You just want to GA to these boxes. This means that obviously the Zarya is going to, like, you know, back off and start hitting the Honor. So it means then that we're in range with her. We can even use, like, these boxes and stuff like that. But right now, we are very out of the team fight. We're very kind of, like, out of it all. And then we end up GAing into the wall. Nice how we go to the health packs. Obviously, you know, we know with Tracer. Nice rotation away. Just unfortunate everyone kind of gets staggered at this point. We'll just reset though. But yeah, we definitely need to be pushed up a little bit more there, because it means that we could have then healed Honor a little bit more. But it's all good. We reset. We have a Winston now instead of the Zarya as well. Did you Zarya use grab? Oh, she just used it. I didn't hear the Zarya grab. I was like, did she switch? But no, it's all good. Okay. Anyways, so we got Winston instead. All good. Nice how you cancel that GA for that high ground. Nice heals here. Nice. Love how you switch beam targets here. Love this. I like this Valk as well, can I just say? I don't think we need it. No, I don't think we need the Valk, but I understand why you want to do the Valk, especially because it's getting into that overtime kind of scenario. Love how you switch beams though. I love how, like, you start off with the reproll, you realise everyone's backed away from the reproll, and so we now need to go and damage this Winston who's just got nanoed. Love this beam management. Absolutely beautiful beam management. Nice. Make sure we're healing a little bit here. We want to try and heal Winston before he dives in. The reason is because Winston's going to dive in. As soon as he dives in, Look where he is. And look where your honor is. Your honor's not going to have LOS of him, sorry. You want to try, if you can, to heal up your Winston before he dives in. Because that's what happened. He dives in, and he ends up falling. Nice balance in here. I wouldn't go for the res until you've pushed up a little bit more. When you have time, basically. Because, obviously, you know the cast is still here. And, obviously, your Valk's running out and everyone else is going to be kind of stood around here. I'd rather you waited for this cast to back off to try and go for this res. It's not a necessity to get this res off. I'd rather you kept up your DPS or anything for this push. Your team are actually winning, though, which is really, really great. Hopefully, you're going to get back. Oh, we got the Lucio. Go on. Where's the rollout? All right. Go on. Solid 7 out of 10 rollout. Nice. Ten out of 10. Top 500 rollout. No, I can appreciate the rollout because it is so much better than any of my rollouts. But yeah, kind of the same things again, Kazu, where actually I feel like your positioning was a lot better on that round. The reason is because I feel like you used the high grounds a little bit less than what you did. And I really liked it, you know, like, and your position was really great, obviously, apart from, apart from, like, this couple, like, of GA into walls, like, little, like, you know, bits where you're getting lost. I want you to definitely work on that a little bit more, like, you know, like, making sure that your GAs are, like, crisp and sharp and to exactly where they need to be, instead of, like, just into a wall. But without that, because they're really, really great. Oh, try and heal your tank a little bit more. When you know your tank wants to go in and Honor's not going to have LOS, try if you can just heal up a little bit more. Your Valks are completely fine, though, because honestly, I feel like your Valks are... I've not had any issues with your Valks so far. We've got Mage now on, and I know how much you like Mage. I love the little swapping of the skins as we're going through. Wait, so let's go. So we have Cass, Farah. Obviously, we're going to have to play with Farah a little bit more now. Nice. Nice G up onto the high ground. Nice. It's nice ping with the tracers. We know where she is. So we know that there's going to be a tracer behind. Because I know there's a tracer behind, I'm going to be keeping half an eye on this tracer to make sure she's not going to go clip my Lana. As soon as I see that tracer, or like I hear that tracer, I'm straight like, where's my Lana kind of thing. You want to be kind of like very, I guess, overprotective of her. Like you want to be like, my honor, only my honor kind of thing. But we keep going. So obviously we know Tracer's behind again. Cassan's getting it, which is nice. Instantaneous res because you know that she's going to fall. Really, really nice. When you do this instantaneous res though, just do a little bunny hop. Do a little bunny hop over the wall. Do it underneath. Because then it means then that you're out of LOS of the cast. I love how obviously, you know, you go around the wall afterwards. Really, really great. But I feel like we should have definitely maybe like flicked it around or something instead. Nice. Really, really good. Leave your honest push point here and push up. Yep. Nice, leaving obviously the healing for your thing, which is great. Fortunate for your Farah. Oh. Very, very risky. And the reason why I say that is because you end up kind of leaving it to the last second of the Winston bubble in order to go and res. I understand that you want Farah back, but at the same time, don't risk your life for it. Thought bubble's gonna last longer. So it got melted. Nice, make sure we're healing tank here. Very, very nice. I'd still keep my beam onto the Winston right now. We really want to try and keep Winston up now, especially because we know that we don't have res for it anymore. I would rather you just kind of full send it into try and keeping your Winston, your honor up right now in this overtime. Then we're healing Cass up a little bit. Fortunately, Winston's up falling. Nice. I just unfortunately everyone ends up falling. So yeah, at this point, I want you to try and just kind of keep up your Winston a little bit more. The Winston is going to be the guy that's going to be able to survive, provide you guys with a bubble throughout this entire team fight. So make sure that we got our beam onto him a little bit more, basically. But we keep going. I'm just gonna quickly skip it forward a little bit. We're about to get... Oh, we got the Soul Live on. I love how we've gone on like a little spectrum of like probably one of the worst skins in the game ending on the best skin in the game. Like, I love that. Anyways, okay. Obviously, we're on the low. I was just about to say, like, this is one of the times where you can be onto the high ground because we're not using it. I'm shocked. But no, we got up onto the high ground. Really, really nice. Nice. I would put the beam onto the Orisa a little bit sooner. When you see that the Orisa's critical, go for the healing then. And then when she gets above that half and, you know, she's back in LOS of the Honor who's back there, you can then, you know, switch it to, you know, beaming someone else, basically. Don't drop down. I've seen you kind of float down a few times like this, and this has pretty much proven my point about the floating down. If you can just, honestly, just vibe up on this high ground and just, you know, rotate yourself just to try and find these people, basically. If you see the cast rotating like this, you know there's going to be a cast below. Oh, sorry, that just happened. As I paused, I was like, But we keep going. So, obviously we talked about that. Peekaboo, no, quite literally, I'm like, where did he come from? Okay. Do you want to know why we couldn't rotate? It's because we did this little GA ourselves back onto the high ground. We don't need to. If we had our GA still, we could have very easily escaped the soldier. Because the soldier is going to appear. We will have our GA because all we've done is walk around. We've not done this little, like, GA ourselves back up when, you know, we dropped off when we don't need to. And, oh, whee! Found the corner. And you're out of LOS, okay? But we keep going. You can see how your team do as this happens. So Orisa's fallen. Oh, we're going Kiri, okay? I'm gonna end it on Kiri. I didn't hear him. No, it's alright. Right, so your May's gone. Nice. Nice, Susie obviously just came out. Just make sure that you still keep an eye on your cast right now because the cast is being chased down by the Zarya. It's all well and good dropping down for your own safety, but make sure that we're still trying to help this cast out a little bit. Perfect that we're doing it now. Nice heals. Unfortunate with the Zuzu, but it's all good. Nice spam. And yeah, everyone just ends up kind of just feeding in instead of like just what's it called? Everyone's kind of just feeding in instead of what's it called? Like backing out basically. That's not on you whatsoever. You did your best to try and keep everyone up basically, but they just went in and fed. And unfortunately, that's the end of the game. So overall, Kazu, I don't see this as your fault that you lose. Sure, there was a few kind of iffy points where, you know, you could definitely, like, say, okay, that's my bad kind of thing. But I 100% will say this is not on you for this loss. I feel like you performed absolutely amazingly. And I'm so shocked to see that you're still in silver. Because I've seen your gameplay, I've reviewed you when you were bronze, I'm obviously reviewing you now that you're silver. You deserve so much higher, my friend, because your Mercy, especially your beam management, because I'm going to start off with your positives. Your beam management is absolutely exceptional. I have no issues with your beam management. The fact that you know when you need to damage boost and when you need to heal. The fact you know to damage boost the person that's peeking and then go into damage boost the other person when that person backed off. It's absolutely beautiful. And I applaud you for it because it's, honestly, it's some of the best beam management that I see. I've audio like Diamond and Masters Mercies, and they have worse beam management than you. So keep with that beam management. It's absolutely amazing. My only issue with your beam management is make sure that you're healing your tank a little bit more. The reasoning is because there's a few times where obviously either the Winston's died or he's got really, really weak because he's not in LOS of the Honor. We need to just be a little bit more aware of that, basically. Making sure that we know when the Winston's weak, I guess, and like, you know, when the Honor's not gonna have LOS, so we can go and help him, basically. I think I got too used to Season 8 and leaving the tank with the other support. Yeah, Season 9, now with Mercy, you can't just kind of play off to one side with your DPS and then kind of, you know, help your tank, like, you know, once in a while. You have to play very team centralized now and kind of play with the whole team. Because everyone will need help. I think the other thing, Kazu, is obviously your positioning. I love your use of high grounds, but make sure that you check and you know that them high grounds are going to be safe before we 100% use them high grounds, because like how we saw right at the beginning, we kind of obviously, you know, end up getting caught out a few times. Just make sure that we're using them GAs from cover to cover. It definitely got a lot better as we moved on with the VOD, which is really, really great. Valks were pretty good, because honestly, like, I know you said all of my Valks were bad. Valks were good. Valks is not your issue right now. I think your main issue right now is making sure that we're not kind of just using the high ground all the time. Make sure that we're using other pieces of cover to have our positioning. And, what was the other thing? Make sure that we're helping our tank a little bit more. But for that, Kazu, honestly, an absolutely amazing VOD, and I hope that you get out of silver because you 100% deserve it, my friend. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone on YouTube as well as on Twitch that's been watching this. You guys can get your own VOD views, the other 7,500 channel points. I do more on Twitch on Sundays, but I'll stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays too. The VODs are completely for free. All you have to do is essentially just turn up and, you know, redeem the 7,500 channel points, which you get completely for free by just watching. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Bye!